comes to great years of a decade, especially the 1980s, I like to say 1987 was the best year of the decade. Why? It was a good, successful year for music. Think about it. Guns N' Roses released their debut album, Appetite for Destruction. Motley Crue released their fourth album, Girls, 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 a hit single, Alone. I mean, music that year, 1987, was fabulous. And I like to say that 1987 was the best year because by the end of 1987, so by December 28th of that year, that's when they had all the best music, the best movies. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with 1987. They had awesome bands. They had fantastic sitcoms at that time. They had Cheers. They had Full House. Full House. Like you can't go wrong with Full House. It's fabulous. But other than that, they had the movies, and being the movie buff that I am, that's why I'm here. The movies of 1987 were some of the decade's best. RoboCop, Lethal Weapon, The Lost Boys, Less Than Zero, Predator, and, of course, Spaceballs. I personally love Spaceballs. That is my all-time favorite 80s movie. Speaking of The Lost Boys, I might have to do a review about that because that's one of the movies that I have right here. This is another one of my favorite 80s movies. Everything about this movie is what vampire movies should be like. You know? But anyways, albums of 1987 were some of the best as well, including Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses, Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue. I said that already. I'm repeating myself. But they also had Bad Animals by Heart, along with albums like Hot Love by Michael Bolton, King Diamond's Abigail, Helloween's Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1, albums and songs. The lists can go on and on for the rest of this movie. There's just so much to talk about of 1987. In fact, there was a play that I wrote, and it was set in 1987. Why did I do that? I just thought 1987 was just a significant year for the 1980s. That was the year that hair was at its height. No pun intended. You know, heavy metal bands like Metallica and Iron Maiden became pioneers of the metal universe. The fashion of the 1980s counterculture was also pretty cool in 1987. The Lost Boys, in some ways, is a bit of the 1980s counterculture, and it was a really new kind of time. That was a bit of a revolutionary year for music, films. People were pushing the limits. It was a pretty interesting year for sure. But then, of course, there was its big, sad highlight when the stock market crashed and yuppie culture ended. It was a pretty difficult time near the end of that year. So you could see, well, not you could see, you, for those who remember, you know that's when things kind of crashed again. But other than that, I just thought that 1987 was good for music and films. So that's my review for today. So catch you next time. Mr. Blues here for you.